Several New York Jets players are turning heads at training camp. Well, the training camp we call it, not what Pop used to call it back in the day. But we'll talk about it nonetheless. Another episode of Boy Green Daily starts now.
Oh my gosh, it's morphin' time! To me, talking New York Jets is my superpower. Boy Green Daily starts now. Wow! Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily. Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily. Offense, defense, special teamwork, just football with Boy Green. J-E-T-S, let's go!
What's going on, everybody? I'm Paul Esden Jr., a.k.a. Boy Green. I'm the New York Jets digital reporter for Heavy.com. Well, welcome to Boy Green Daily, a daily New York Jets video show, also available wherever you get your podcast. 7 a.m. Eastern Time is the new time to tune in live here on the show. We're streaming live on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube, and the audio-only version of the podcast is available, quite frankly, wherever the hell you get your podcast. Could be Amazon, Apple, or Spotify. Let's welcome in my co-host who's already crashed the party, baby. It is Hop on Pop. Let's go. What's going on, Pop?
Hey now, good morning, Coffee Club.
There you go. And look at Austrian acknowledging his tribal chief here right at the beginning of the program, the face that runs the place. There you go, baby. You love to see it. Austrian now has 64 raffle tickets. Good Lord. He's in a contest with himself for raffle tickets, and we're only 8 days into the month. So beautiful. Thank you, Austrian, here on the program. That's pretty cool, Pop. Pretty cool.
As always, that's why he's number one.
Yeah,
number one in your programs, number one in your hearts.
That's for sure. That membership, by the way, went to ST Steelers for Life or Starlers for Life. There's a few vowels missing. I'll have to ask Pat Sajak about that later, perhaps. All right, Pop, we've got a lot to get into. But before we get into all the Jets action, and again, if you guys are simply here for and you're watching this after the fact, and you're simply here for the training players, you'll be able to skip ahead on the video. But I want to make sure that we get into this and we don't miss it, Pop. First, well, I guess you tell me where you want to go first, and I'll guide the ship in that direction.
Yeah, I guess we'll start off with Jared B., who's our wonderful moderator. We'll start off with his question. I am not in the witness protection program. Similar to Henry Hill, that shit was too lame for me. But anyways, I am in the state of South Carolina right now, and I have successfully executed a breakout. Brody has broken out and is out of the hospital. He's out of rehab and he's back home, people. So we thank you for all your prayers and positive vibes coming your way. He got out of the rehabilitation facility on Thursday. I'll put some pictures on Discord, and we'll be visiting with him yesterday and again today. So Brody Strong, he's still working on some physical limitations he's working through, but he's out, back home, and doing good.
That's a beautiful update. And by the way, you mentioning that, shout out to Jared B. He is our moderator here on the YouTube channel, making sure everything's going according to plan behind the scenes. He also runs our Discord, and we have been attempting to fix, there's been this huge issue, made it very complicated for people to join Discord, and of course that has limited the amount of people on the Discord, but Jared B has cracked a few codes here, so if you guys do want to join the Discord, Jared B will be throwing that link in there, so you can see those Brody updates, personal updates, when big things are coming, all things of that nature. So, again, he'll be throwing that in the live comment section. And if you're listening to the show, you're like, man, I want to be a part of your Discord, with all you Jet fans, just reach out on any social media and we'll help guide the ship of you getting there. So, Pop, thank you for that seismic update. We got to see him on the video call yesterday. I now do these Instagram calls with him now, so it's cool. I get to talk to him and hang out with him virtually. So that's outstanding news, especially, the other news we thought we were dealing with just a handful of months ago.
Absolutely. And he now has a shiny new cell phone until test spikes it on the ground, does a Tom Brady, if you will. But as of now, he has a new cell phone, and he's loving it, loving life, doing great.
Well, thank you for sharing that update, Pop. Again, there, of course, a lot of people are here for, I'm sure, training camp players up and down. It's great to hear that Brody Arrow stock is clearly up based on that update, which is beautiful. So thank you for sharing that. And prayers work. That's exactly right, Barbara. Yeah, that was some troubling times. And again, my pop just said it, but I want to reiterate it. The coffee club, the espresso club, the Jet fans. Some people, I recently saw this because I was trying to find something in YouTube. They have all these analytics of where people are on the planet that watch your show and all these other things. And there's a large chunk of people that watch your show that do not subscribe. So even those people, everyone that has consumed the show in any way, any prayers you may have shared for us during these trying times is very much appreciated. So thank you. Appreciate that. Thank you, Barbara, for saying that. Pop, do you have any more personal before we move on to
Yes.
another item? Oh, please.
One more. Maybe it's what you were going to talk about. I'm not sure. I'd like to bring the team up to date on the Wounded
Yes.
Warrior raffle.
Yes.
I don't want to jump the shark here, but the Wounded Warrior raffle, we are up to $2,350 raised for the
Amazing.
50/50 raffle, and for the way some people donate without wanting to be part of the raffle, we're about $1,400 directly to the Wounded Warriors. About the remainder of what it is, beep boop bop. The remainder 2,000 up for grabs in the Wounded Warrior raffle. So half of 2,000 will go to the winner, the other half Wounded Warriors. So we're about 1,400 for the Wounded Warriors, 1,000 right now approximately for the winner.
Yeah, let me just explain that real quick because I want us to be incredibly transparent about this process. I don't want anyone to be confused about anything. So, you guys out there in the audience, if you're watching the show right now, you're watching it after the fact, you're listening to the audio only version perhaps of this show. For the second straight year, we're trying to raise money for the Wounded Warrior Project. This is the Hop on Pop Wounded Warrior 50/50 raffle. Here's how it works. If you send a donation to my father, his Venmo and PayPal are the same handle. It's Hop on Pop 22, HOPONPOP 22 on Venmo or PayPal. Just give your name or nickname on the show and a good email to reach you at. And you can donate any amount of money as long as it's at least $1, but it could go as high as you want. $500, $1,000, $20, whatever you guys can afford out there in the audience would be a great help. If you guys donate any amount of money, let's say $5, you are in the raffle. We will be drawing a winner randomly at the tailgate. If you donated any amount of money, $1 or more, you're in the running. Obviously, the more money you donate, the more shots you have at potentially winning all this. You will win 50% of the pot, and then the other 50% of the pot will go to the Wounded Warrior. There are some people that have chosen to donate to our raffle to say, hey, we just want this money to go to the Wounded Warrior. We don't want to be a part of the raffle. That's not what this is about. And so Pop has a section of that money that is strictly going to the Wounded Warrior. It obviously is a part of our overall total of money we're raising, but again, that's not part of the raffle from that standpoint. It's just going to there. So I just want to make sure that's incredibly transparent for everyone that's out there. So please, guys, keep those donations coming. This is going to run all the way through our Jets-Browns Week 5 game, which we'll talk about a little bit later here on the channel, so you can hand Pop cash in person. He'll be there at the restaurant takeover the night before. So we'll continue to collect money, and then the next day, Sunday, October 11th, is when we'll draw that winner, and you get that money instantly. There's no, shipping and handling. We'll get it to you in 5 to 7 business days. It's instantaneous while we're all there together, which is great news.
Yeah, I'll give a quick shout out. I've given Boy Green the latest spreadsheet, but
Sure.
we had numerous contributors lately, and I'll just briefly run the Bad Shaw
Yep.
donated. Thank you. Ed Vargas donated. Cisco Lopez donated, and Cole Young donated. Those are the more recent ones. We will share the entire list on I think on next show that I am on, which will be next Sunday. So yes, please. There's the link to Venmo, PayPal, again, to help those who protect our freedom. So thank you, everyone that's donated so far, and we'll take anything. Change, slip me a dollar during the restaurant takeover, whatever it takes. It's all going straight to the Wounded Warriors.
Yes, and then the one additional layer I just want to make sure is, again, incredibly transparent. If you guys send in super chats or memberships and go, oh, Paul, that's for the Wounded Warrior, I would not do that. That really complicates it. YouTube takes a cut. If you want to help out, I suggest directly giving it to my pop at Venmo or PayPal, or even if for whatever reason you don't have that available, you only have Zelle. Zell me, and then I can be the middleman and just pass the baton. I did that a few times, by the way, over the last couple of days. Thank you to everyone that donated in that form or fashion. That money went directly to Pop, and I communicate with him. Hey, Pop, sent you 50 for this person. Hey, Pop, sent you 100 for this person. Hey, Pop, sent you this. So to make it very clear, so we're trying to raise money for charity. It's the second straight year we're doing this. All the glory to God, of course, but and to Pop for helping put all this together. And thank you to the Coffee Club and Espresso Club members for all the money raised so far, Pop. It's pretty incredible.
It is pretty incredible, and I'm glad we started earlier. Greater runway. You know, you think about the 8,800 plus subscribers, just $1 a piece will double the total from last year. So, and by the way, I don't think you can say just Zell me, baby. I don't think you can say that on podcasting. Just want to say
I'm not,
that.
I'm not sure if I understand that reference, but it's probably better that I don't. By the way, two quick things, and we'll get into the task at hand here, talking about the stock up players heading into training camp. I recorded this video this morning because what else are you going to do when you wake up at 4:30 in the morning? Because I
Sleeping
don't
in?
need I guess, but I'm not programmed that way. I guess so. I just woke up. I'm like, wow, I am awake at 4:30. I guess I'm getting up, and so I recorded this video. This is a video I've been wanting to do for a while. It is up in the video section. How Boy Green acquired one of the most unique one-of-one memorabilia items of all time, from the draft story to getting the Omar Cooper card to getting it signed, and how it all happened behind the scenes. It's about a 10-minute video. You guys can go check it out. So
10
shout out.
minutes.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool story. There's pictures, there's videos. It's an entire package. So it sounds like I can't wait to hear your full review, by the way, of this video that you're clearly not going to watch, but that's all right. I will try to.
I watch every video you make, but when you're talking about a 10-minute video of your package, I don't know. Anyways, hey now.
Hey, speaking of my package is headed to One Jets Drive, baby. This is incredible. I didn't know I was going to any training camp practices this year because, there's a lot of things going on in my life, and the tickets are limited. I was able to go Saturday, August 1st. That was amazing. But now I'm going to Jets Bucks joint practice on Tuesday. I won a ticket lottery from the Jets. I tried to give those tickets to the person that gave me the tickets initially for Saturday, August 1st. They can't go, so I said, the gods are clearly telling Boy Green, you gotta go to training camp again, baby. So I will be there on Tuesday giving you guys all kinds of great content. So hopefully you guys dig it, baby. And there should be a lot coming. So, Pop, we're going back to training camp. And this one, you question all these training camps we're about to talk about it here. This is padded practices and against another team. This is like the preseason game because they can show scheme because that's not being, well, it might be recorded by some fans who are going to get tackled on the outside, but beyond the random fan videos, this isn't being filmed like a preseason game where everyone can rewatch it. So I think you're going to get real stuff in a joint practice like this.
Should be great. Should be great. And I guess the great Lou B is going with you.
He is not actually. He's going the next day, but I just like that picture. I thought that was cool. And Lou B on Instagram said, "Hey, thanks for including the picture," but he's actually not going to be there. So I guess it's a little awkward. Anywho, let's get to the task at hand here, Pop. Time is limited here, so let's get into it. Shout out to Zach Rosenblatt of The Athletic. He wrote an article talking about the 8 New York Jets players that are turning heads at training camp, and there's a mix of veterans here and young players all over the place. So we'll go through the list and share a quick thought or two. And I heard this from Rich Samini on the Jets Collective podcast as well. He believes Armand Membu may be the best player at Jets training camp with how he's performed and the way he looks. And so some love for Armand Membu. And Zach Rosenblatt said something similar in this piece. Our right tackle, it looks like that was an absolute home run, baby.
Yeah, I think
Oh, boy.
no. I'm glad. I mean, I don't think it's surprising that he came in last year, and we looked at it. We talked about it off air, right? He's kind of, middle to bottom third from his 2025 production, and that's PFF rankings, not Hop on Pop rankings, PFF rankings. But I think you learn a lot. There's so much to learn. There's there's techniques and partnering with your other teammates, and the fact that he did run the gambit of 17 games with them for the most part. I think this is a positive sign, and it's even more positive that it's almost like I could predict the future, right? David Bailey maybe got on his butt when he didn't have pads playing little backyard football, but when the men padded up, David Bailey was ding ding, school was in session, and Membo really showed up and showed out. So I expect the maturation in the second year of offensive lineman. It's a big step up, a big change, and I really I'm glad to see him on here, and I'm not surprised.
It's just cool because, like Aaron Glenn said this at exit meetings, that Armand Membu, by all accounts, by all normal people's analysis, Armand Membu had a very nice rookie season. Like, wow, okay, you feel pretty good about that pick. And so you could understand if Armand Membu would have had the ideology of complacency of like, oh, not bad, all right. But apparently he didn't. When he met with AG for the exit meetings, he was like, yeah, that was fine, but I can do better. I could be this. I could be this. I could be this. And it just seems like he's hellfire on a mission. Apparently, he got a little pissy. I don't know if pissy's the right. He just got pissed off, Pop, when the David Bailey 3-sack practice happened and everyone was talking about it on social media. Like, oh, look at the young kid coming through. He almost like turned his cap backwards and said,
Well, I
okay.
mean, like I said, right? I mean, what are we talking about? And probably, it's no pads. It's the first day back or the second day, whatever it is.
Right.
And then this little youngster, I'll show you. And then, all right, MFer. Shout out to MF. Choo. All right, MFer. He did ding ding. Class is in session. It's men out. And people that may not like the wherever he was 15 to 20th in PFF rankings, whatever those numbers were. It's different for passing and overall and starts and blah blah blah. Realize that he was going up against a grown ass man that wasn't their rookie season. There may have been one or two that were. So that is actually not bad. And the fact that not only did he play, he started every game, and was in the middle of the bad. That's not a bad place to be your rookie year, as you're compared against. You're talking about Pro Bowlers, right? You're stacked up against first round and second round Pro Bowlers on both sides of the ball in your middle of the pack. You chop off the Pro Bowl, right? And you're not that far away. So, anyways, I think it's very positive.
By the way, real quick, NY Jets fandom, very nice. Paul or Senior, can you send me a PayPal to send in money for Wounded Warrior Project? So, NY Jets fandom, do me a favor and email me, and then we'll work it all out after the show. And we can request money instead if that's what you prefer, if somehow it's not working or anything. But Paul A. Esden Jr. at gmail.com. Just follow up with me either during the show and I'll get to you after the show or something, and we'll circle back around. So if anyone's having any issues whatsoever, email me, Paul A. Esden Jr. at gmail.com if you want to help out. And let's say you don't have PayPal, you don't have Venmo, you don't have Zelle, and you're trying to find a way you want to support, we will figure that out. So just hang on tight, NY Jets fandom. Just reach out and we will figure that out after. Pop, let's get this player in too, because you were just talking about him. David Bailey was another one on Zach Rosenblatt's list, the number 2 overall pick, the highest drafted defensive player in Jets history. You'll love this line from Zach Rosenblatt. Bailey had about as dominant a practice as you'll see out of a rookie pass rusher, getting 2 or 3 sacks in this practice, which again, it's up to the beat reporters to interpret what are sacks because they don't count that in these practices. And the sterling, sort of reactions to David Bailey so far is the Jets apparently were surprised how much willingness he's shown in run defense in these training camp practices. Like, he's showing willingness, effectiveness, apparently, and he has been, according to Zach Rosenblatt, clearly the Jets' best pass rusher so far in camp. So, David Bailey, this is what you want to see if you just drafted a guy number 2 overall among the stock up players, I imagine.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And, I think David Bailey's going to bring something to the team. He may not even be an every down starter. And,
we'll see.
We're not sure. But I think he's going to come in, and I think he's a 6 to 8 sack guy for the Jets, in that range. We can run the tape back in 6 months or so and see if I was right. But yeah, I'm not expecting 10, 12, 14 sacks, but I think 6 to 8 sacks would be respectful. And then the other key is if he's showing up on the running downs, if he shuts up the doubters, unlike Arians, if he's able to shut people up by stepping up and stepping out on the run. That's the biggest concern. That he was fast and could get around the ends was what we expected him to do. Otherwise, it would have been a draft at number 2. But the run defense is a question mark, and you might be able to see that on Tuesday versus the Bucks.
I'm just looking ahead. I don't seem to see Arian Smith on this list. Maybe there was an and one special perhaps from Zach Rosenblatt. Not seeing Arian
It
Smith on the list.
seems like Zach Rosenblatt dropped the ball, if you will. Dropped the
Oh,
ball.
that's too soon. And quite frankly, for the rest of his career, perhaps will be too soon. Nonetheless, let's keep going here again. It's Paul Esden Jr. and his father. Hop on Pop is here on the show for Boy Green Daily, a daily New York Jets video show, also available wherever you get your podcast. We're reacting to Zach Rosenblatt's column from this week. We talked about 8 early standouts from Jets training camp, and he gave all these rationale reasons why he believes they're standing out from being at these training camp practices. I'm set to be at my second training camp practice. I'll be coming up on Tuesday, and to me, that one's a lot more serious. Pads will be on, and they were not on the first time I went. And then also, you're playing another team. And I talked about those old stories, Pop, about playing high school football. When you get those scrimmages, like when you're just facing your own same team, the Buccaneers were blue, white, and black. So we're just facing blue, white, and black, blue, white, and black, blue, white, and black. Then we get this scrimmage with like 4 or 5 other high schools all coming together on a neutral field. All of a sudden, the competitive energies and everything sort of juices up. I guess let me ask you a quick side question on that. Because this will be the last time we talk to you before that occurs. Do you put stock into this joint practices? The Jets will have 2 of them on Tuesday and Wednesday. Then you have the preseason game on that Friday. Like, do you put more stock into that coming up? Because that's where really the Jets themselves, after beating up their own members of the green and white, will be able to see a different colored, jersey team on the other side. And, it's sort of almost a temperature check for yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. I think there's a lot of value in it. I think what you see is not really what you see, right? Nobody's going to really show a lot, but this one is interesting. That whether they move up and down the field again, they're not going to show their best plays, but you'll be able to see my boy AD Metcalf. You'll be able to see his speed on the secondary. You'll be able to send these big uglies manning up and slobber knockering in the middle. So I think there is value to it. I don't think you overdo it, because then you open yourself up. Here, what I really think you open yourself up to more than you do in your own practices is injuries. I think that is the potential there. But yes, I don't think every team does this necessarily, but I think there's a tremendous value.
Yes, and I agree with Yo Holmes here. He says it in the new NFL with these rules, the joint practices are more important oftentimes in the actual preseason game, because I've heard other Jets coaches in this new era of what this all is, explaining the past, that they got their quote unquote work in during these joint practices, and thus they didn't need to see those players in the preseason game. So we'll see. Aaron Glenn hasn't spoken on any of that yet. He is set to speak today because the Jets have another practice today. But we'll see if the preseason questions start heating up, because Frank Reich, who and all the coordinators spoke yesterday, he was starting to get asked about the preseason for next week, which again, we're 6 days away, Pop. It's pretty crazy. We're 6 days away from the first preseason game for your New York Jets. Will, of course, be doing play-by-play coverage of the entire preseason here on the YouTube channel.
What time is that game?
7 o'clock. 7 o'clock.
And
First
that's
two are
on.
7
Is that a
o'clock.
week
The
from
third one is
today?
7:30. Week from yesterday. All the games are Friday nights for the entire preseason.
All right.
Sorry, I don't. I'm sorry that doesn't tickle your fancy, apparently. Let's get some other few players in before you got a dip, Pop. What about the kicking competition? Old Jason Sanders makes the list here. And apparently the kicking competition has been good. I think Cade York, between me and you, I think Cade York sucks. So the fact that apparently it's been competitive, like neither of them have like missed like 20 kicks. I guess if so, they would have been fired already, I guess. But yeah, that's the battle. Jason Sanders is far and away the more proven players, a former All-Pro. Cade York is a younger guy. But that's a battle happening right now. Apparently Jason Sanders stock up.
Yeah, it's embarrassing that he's on this list, but I mean, this is a problem. Once the Jets let the what was your nickname for your boy last year's kicker, Nick?
Folk hero?
Folk hero, right? Once his round ass rolled somewhere else, We had to get some filling, and the Jets have been struggling. So hopefully this is the sign they've locked it in. They'll keep what's his name. He can get a few dollars between now and final cut day, but and they'll keep him on the horn. But it's good to see that they've kind of locked it in because they've been really. It's been uncomfortable to watch, if you will, this kicking fiasco.
All right, let me ask you about this guy. Jelani Woods, 6'7", 253 pounds, a man, former third-round draft choice of the Colts. He's on this list, and since this list was written, press conferences and things are happening. So, risers and fallers, I suppose, can change. Geno Smith spoke a few days ago, and when the media asked him who's a player that stood out, the first name he mentioned was Jelani Woods. I'm like, wow, really? That's interesting. Frank Reich yesterday was, of course, asked about Jelani Woods. He was a part of the Colts when they drafted Jelani Woods. And now with this Kenyon Sadiq thing, Pop, I know we haven't gotten your thoughts on that. We don't have enough time to get your thoughts on that. But, with that happening, this seems like a door is wide open potentially for Jelani Woods to realize his full potential, which, of course, has never happened at the NFL level yet.
Yeah, Jelani Woods, has he spent the majority of his life on the practice squad? Is that
No, it's not that. It's he's been injured. So he's had serious injuries. So no, he had a moment that I think that was his rookie season where he put up the numbers, relatively speaking, for what he is of the potential of ooh. But no, the reason why if you're looking at a Pro Football Reference, you're like, whoa, the game's logged. That doesn't make any sense. It's because of he's just dealt with turf toe and a million injuries. That's been his bugaboo, unfortunately, at the NFL level.
Yeah, in the past 3 years, he's had one reception.
Yes, yep, he's been all these out for season injuries. Yeah,
Yeah, so I think it's good for Jelani Woods. I would tell you that to me, this is show up, or check out for Mason Taylor. That's what I think. This is the window that he has that unfortunately Sadiq, whatever the case is, whatever the mismanagement, mishandling, misconceptions, this is for Mason Taylor to show up. I think Jelani Woods will make it. And then when Sadiq comes back, get kicked to the practice squad to keep him in the flow. But it's good to see. It's good for the young man. He might finally get his chance. And I think maybe Aaron Glenn's doing him a solid that in the end he doesn't make the team. That he's kind of rooting for the kid to get picked up somewhere else.
Well, you always say that you're not always competing for your own team. You're auditioning at all times for the other 31 teams. The eye in the sky never lies. That's the tape. And what you put on tape is ultimately your resume. So, yep, always keep an eye out for that. Pop, I know we only have time for one more here, and we'll squeeze it in because he's the quarterback, Geno Smith. Antoine Staley joined the Jake Asman show, ESPN New York, when he was filling in for Michael Kay, and he said the thing that stood out to him most about Geno Smith through all the practices he's seen thus far is his aggressiveness. He likes challenging deeper levels of the field. It's not just Justin Fields' dump-offs. He's challenging the intermediate levels. He's taking shots down the field. So aggressiveness has been the number one thing, and Frank Reich said yesterday he just loves how laser-focused Geno Smith is on the task at hand here. So it seems like he's had some up-and-down practices, mostly up based on all the reporting of everything. So the arrow looks like it's been up for Geno.
Yeah, I think I believe the Jets, with the P and potential showing up, and I've said it before, are top 10 to 15 offense, which is significant improvement from last year, obviously. I think his limitation is going to be, what are these rookies from either last year or this year? What are they going to bring to the table, these offensive rookies? Because the reason Geno Smith, you can't have the highest accuracy for tight window throws and the most interceptions. There's something on that. The most tight window throws is because your wide receivers suck.
That's
right?
another way to interpret
And
that,
so,
yeah.
and when the tight window throw isn't successful, it's a pick. I mean, so what are we talking about?
Yeah.
So I will tell you that there's been a bunch of flowers handed out for Omar Cooper and Sadiq and Mason. I don't know how Mason Taylor getting flowers, but all these people are getting a whole bunch of flowers rained upon them. And that's Geno, right? He doesn't need, very similar to, and everyone's going to lose their minds, but very similar to how Dan Marino could make an average receiver look good. I'm saying Geno needs at least average receiver talent, which in his one dip year in the past 5 is when he clearly did not have it anywhere in sight. That's what I'm saying. So It's not a Dan Marino,
Geno
Gino
Smith is the
comparison.
next Dan Marino. No, we heard
That
what you
is not. That is not what I'm saying. I'm saying these
clear.
rookies that they've got their flowers. Now we need them to cash them in. So
Yeah. Well, Pop, I know you have to dip. Thank you so much for coming on the show. I will continue, folks. I'm not ending the show. There's more show to happen, so that's not happening. But I'm just saying goodbye to Pop here, and thank you for all your help and everything, guiding and leading this Wounded Warrior project. I'll answer another question here about that here in just a moment. So, thank you for all your support, Pop. And again, this is going on for the next couple of months, so we have a lot more time. We've raised some great money so far, and thanks to the Coffee Club and Espresso Club, but more money to be raised here. We got a couple more months.
absolutely. Thank you all, Coffee Club. Have a great Saturday, whatever day of the week this is. And
Yes.
who knows, I might pop in next Friday night under the big lights, big city.
Yes.
Let's go.
Okay, there he is. Pop, baby, joining us here on the program. Shout out to Pop. Excellent. And thank you to Pop for joining us here on the program. Spectacular. Great stuff there from Hop on Pop. Again, we will continue here on the program, but shout out to Pop. For anyone that's asking, yeah, who is that? NY Jets fandom. I see you're asking about Apple Pay and stuff like that. My fiance has that, so I could probably work that out where you get it to her and then she moves it here to there. I'll do whatever I can to help you guys out. If you guys can't use PayPal or Venmo or Zelle and you have Apple Pay or anything else, I will work it out, be whatever mediator I have to be to get the money where it needs to go with Pop so we can get it to the Wounded Warrior Project. So thank you, everybody out in the audience. I promise I'll work with you for anything. So again, you guys can just email me, Paul A. Esden Jr. at gmail.com. Pop, of course, in South Carolina on the road with a lot of family obligations, things of that nature. I appreciate him being able to join us for any period or length of time. That is spectacular. Make sure you guys, by the way, like the video here on YouTube and hit subscribe. Appreciate you. I want to answer a few comments and we'll get back into it here. Robert C807. Boy Green, 10,000 subscribers by the end of the season or more than that. Oh, I will tell you, last night I had a dream because who doesn't dream about this stuff? I had a dream that we just hit it during the season. Like the buildup, like all of a sudden, like the Jets are winning more than people expect, right? I don't even know. I'm trying to think of like whatever it was. You know, dreams are sort of foggy. You can't always remember every intricate detail, but I just remembered hitting 10,000 subscribers, but we're in the middle of it. Like whatever, I'm gonna make up the record because I don't remember what it actually was. Like we're 5-2 or something. You're like, whoa! Like look at the Jets! Like what a surprise! And then like we're doing all these shows, and the play-by-play seems to get a lot of activity when people are watching the show, which is cool. So yes, that will start in 6 days. I will be doing live play-by-play coverage of the New York Jets Tampa Bay Buccaneers game. If you have Sunday ticket or something, unfortunately that does not include the preseason. You have to buy a separate preseason package. If you don't want to do that, here's the good news: my show is free to watch, so you can't see the television action on the screen. Unfortunately, that breaks rules. However, I'm going to be watching the game and giving you guys the play-by-play analysis of the game as it's going on. You guys can watch those shows. I'll be doing it throughout the entire preseason. So I'll be doing each of those games. And you guys can support. You guys can call in. There'll be moments where you guys can call in between the play-by-play coverage, maybe an intermission, a halftime. Before the game, we'll be on like 15 minutes before. We'll be on after that is over. We'll do a post-game show. We'll talk about players that stood out and things of that nature. So it's going to be awesome. But yes, it's funny that you asked this, Robert. Robert C807, is that I had a dream about it last night. And it was something. The Jets were, again, winning more than whether it was the beginning of season, middle of season, end of season. They were just the vibes were good. And that just like, woohoo! That was exciting. That was a great dream to have. So, yeah, I think it's going to happen. We're about 1,200 people away. You know, I didn't check it right before the show, but, you know, we're about 1,200 people away. That'd be amazing. That was a goal I had. 6 years ago, September next month, celebrates 6 years of YouTube being around, and I appreciate this community we've built. It's freaking amazing. I love Jet fans. I'm a Jets fan myself, so yeah, I think it's happening this year, somewhere in the middle of the season. More than that would be cool, but like it's sort of like on Twitter, I sort of had that same number. 10,000 followers would be cool. I'm about to be at 19,000. That's an amazing number to be at. I'm glad that people care enough about my opinion that they follow me on X, Instagram. I'm over 2,000 people now, so I'm growing in all these places. I love that anyone cares about my opinion on the Jets or likes my vibe or anything of that nature is super cool. So Yeah, man. Once I get to 10,000, everything after that's pretty gravy. I mean, it would now. This is way far down the line. My fiance has brought this up, and she was telling my kids about it. When you get 100,000 subscribers, you get this cool YouTube thing, like a plaque or a trophy or a whatever it's called. I mean, maybe one day. Yeah, I guess that's the next goal after 10,000, right? Is get that cool plaque from YouTube. That'd be super cool. We have an awesome community, so that's great. Thank you, Robert, for asking. And Max says, has Brody, my brother, become a Jets fan? No, he's still a Saints fan. So not yet. We haven't turned him to the dark side of the Force. In due time. In due time. NC Green says, BG, what happens after you pass 10,000 subscribers? Some love from YouTube. So, of course, the more you guys watch, the more all this other jazz happens. There's all these YouTube analytics of the more you guys watch time and ads and all this other jazz that happens. Yes, you get more love from YouTube from that perspective. Also, when your channel gets bigger, they start feeding it to other communities. So, like, wow, did you guys hear about this Jet Show? Look, it's got 10,000 subscribers, and that helps it pick up more and more and more. So, yeah, there's a lot of love that comes with it. Let's see. Your mom's dirty secret. Is there a wedding if we reach the playoffs? Maybe, perhaps. What a great line to do it. It's been 15 years for God's sakes. Your mom's dirty secret. BG killed the play-by-play last year. It's a lot of fun. I've always wanted to do it in my brain, but I needed a shout out to Terrence Hill and Hep. Terrence Hill is the main straw that stirs the drink, and Hep as well. I didn't used to like doing the play-by-play because I like watching the game by myself and enjoying it in my own world. So to be on camera and then to perform, for lack of a better word, I feel like I'm not. What you see right now is what you see in person. I'm the same person, but there is a performative element that I have to serve some purpose. I'm not just sitting here on the couch eating popcorn going, oh, did you guys see that play? Like I'm doing play-by-play, for instance. All right, 3rd and 6 here, 13 minutes and 44 seconds remaining in the second quarter. 3 wide receiver set, Geno Smith under center. Breece Hall, lone back behind him. Tampa Bay is adjusting. 2 timeouts left in the first half. I'm like giving you all that detail, and then I'll literally walk you through the play. So it is live play-by-play analysis of my observations of the game and the roster. All right, Geno Smith drops back. Up, finds Garrett Wilson for a 5-yard out. He breaks a tackle. He's whatever all that is going on. Yes. So I'm glad you guys enjoyed it. I will be providing that service again this year. We'll have it for the entire preseason. Yes. That is correct. Yeah, buddy. Amen. And no worries, no one has to apologize for ever getting here late. It's a new world of me doing these shows at 7 a.m. and the show's on demand, baby. So no apologies necessary for anyone out there in the audience. Terrence Hill says, appreciate the love, Paul. Thanks for the shout out. I have more ideas for you when you're ready, my bro. Oh boy. Okay, here we go. Thank you, Terrence, for saying that. And hey, I'm all for ideas. Any ideas that can help improve the show or anything of that nature is good for business. By the way, here's a couple more things. Folks, there's a sign-up sheet down in the YouTube description down below. If you guys want to attend our restaurant takeover, it's going to be spectacular. It's Saturday, October 10th at the Cloverleaf Tavern, Caldwell, New Jersey. It's the night before the Jets-Browns game in Week 5. In the YouTube description down below, it's one of the top comments. You'll see it. Sign-up sheet. If you guys are in the New Jersey area, even if you're not, and you want to drive up for it, a bunch of Jet fans are going to gather together. Doors open, quote-unquote, at 6:30. It's a restaurant, so the doors obviously open way earlier than that, but for our specific event, people can start arriving at 6:30. It'll be the private upstairs room. If you go into the restaurant, just say, hey, I'm here for the Jets party, private upstairs room. They'll walk you right up there, and there'll be a bunch of Jet fans, coffee club members, espresso club members. We're going to be doing free giveaways that night. The only thing you have to pay for is the food and drink that you eat and drink in your belly. That's the only thing you'll be responsible for at the end of the night. I hope I see a bunch of you there. We have about 45 people signed up, which is amazing. I think we can have up to 56 to 60 people up there in the room. So we got another 15 spots available if you're interested. If you think you guys are going to go, make sure you guys do that. So sign up. YouTube description down below. There's an Excel sheet down there. If for whatever reason you can't access it, no worries. Just reach out to me, and I will help get you on the list. It's going to be a grand old time. So that's the sign-up sheet. And Jared B. gifting a Boy Green Coffee Club membership. Let's ring the bell, baby. That's what I'm talking about, Jared. All right, old Jared B here. That's his second raffle ticket so far this month. Thank you, Jared B. And Jared B, again, is such a straw that stirs the drink. He deserves more love from the audience. He is the moderator behind the scenes on YouTube. You see him constantly commenting. Also, he's a part of our Discord, a big part of our Discord. Your mom's dirty secret. Ha ha! You just got your membership from Jared B. Congratulations. That's amazing. After all your commenting, see, these memberships are gifted at random, but they go to um, the most active people in the audience. Yes, Jared B, that is random. You can't pick who ends up getting the memberships that are gifted out in the audience. So that is completely at random. Booyah. Make sure you do that. And he says, oh, it's DJ. Well, you guys and all your handles. I don't know. It's hard to keep track of everything. But also, by the way, if you're a part of our coffee club or a special club, stay tuned today. We're going to have some members only video doing our draft order reveals for the Fantasy Football League. So stay tuned to that, everybody out there in the audience. And speaking of raffle tickets, Jared B, booyah! We do a raffle every single month on our channel. So if you guys want a chance to win a bunch of badass Jets items for low money, well, you found the right place. We're going to be giving away these items on your screen on September 1st. I'll walk you through them, both for our audio-only listeners and our video listeners as well. An Eric McMillan autographed 1990 Pro Bowl card with the inscription 2X Pro Bowl and DROY 1988. It comes with a certificate of authenticity. Yes, Eric McMillan, the former New York Jet, had a spectacular rookie season where he had 8 interceptions. It's this cool autographed Pro Bowl card. It's awesome. I want to keep it personally, but it's sweet. So that'll go out the door. We have a New York Jets New Era sideline hat. It's black and green with an NY logo in the middle, still in the package. That's brand new. We have a boy green Jets package. There's items in here that are Jets infused and boy green infused. We have a license plate in here. We have a custom commemorative coin in here. We have a pen in here. We have a keychain. It's a cool package. A lot of cool stuff in there. And then a vintage Garrett Wilson NFLPA one-handed catch shirt from his rookie season. There was a limited release. So there you go. You have that as well. All those items will be given away to somebody coming up on September 1st. So let's go. All of your raffle tickets are submitted throughout the month. Gets you eligible to potentially win that contest. Again, raffle tickets are $3 a piece. To gift a Boy Green Coffee Club membership is $3. Every time you gift one, you get a membership, and an angel gets their wings, I've heard. I don't know if that's really true, but that feels right. It feels right. Yeah, baby. Barbara. Play-by-play was great, especially for us that don't get the game. Steelers and Philly once shown here. Have to wait to see when NFL Network shows it. See, that just goes to show you. So that is a part. And Barbara, thank you for bringing that up. That's a part of the service, to be honest. I didn't envision in my head. I didn't think I would be doing it for people that don't have the choice. Some people have the choice and choose to watch my play-by-play, which I appreciate. Some people don't have the choice. So, like, I'm in Montana. I'm in this place and I can't get it. It doesn't show locally. And I'm glad that I provide that service. So hopefully you guys really enjoy it. And thank you very much for all the kind words. We have 200 people in the room across our social media portals, including 77 on YouTube. Hit that like button, baby, here on YouTube. That gets this show organically in front of other Jet fans out there in the friggin' audience, baby. Let's go. We only have 38 likes, but 77 people watching on YouTube. Let's fix that, people. Make that a part of your routine of liking the video. That is terrific. And one more plug, and then I promise we'll get back into the Jets players here. If you want to come to our tailgate, if you're going to the Jets game, Week 5, Jets-Browns, I highly recommend you come to our tailgate. I just did the math. Let me see. Just did the math before the show. Let me get my numbers here. We have 27 raffle. I keep saying raffle. I'm on the raffle. 27 tailgate tickets left, people. We are going to have 100 Jet fans at our tailgate for the Jets-Browns game in the parking lot before the game. We have sold 73 tailgate tickets. We have 27 left. They're $50 a piece. Your tailgate package gives you all kinds of stuff. First off, this, whoops, showed the wrong thing here. Let me flip my graphics here. This is all the tailgate food that's going to be there. Burgers, dogs, ziti, pretzels. Oh, man. Pops, bacon, popcorn, all of that. Shout out to Chef Kevin Gilbert. We have professionally catered food in the parking lot before the game. Non-alcoholic drinks, waters, Gatorades, things of that nature. You can't bring your own beer, but we can't distribute it. That's illegal. But you can bring your beer. We have coolers available if you want to keep it cold. So BYOB, baby. That's up to you out in the audience. So yeah, come to our tailgate. It's $50 for the tailgate. They get you food, they get you drink, and a custom rally towel for the Jets Browns game that you get to keep and take home with you, or use it during the game. So there you have it, people. We have 27 tailgate passes left. If you have interest in purchasing one of those, just reach out to me on any social media at BoyGreen25, BoyGreen25, on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, or email me, paulasdenjr at gmail.com. So we want to sell this out. There's a few maybes out there in the audience, but we have 27 left that are available. So good luck to everybody out there, and make sure you get them. Again, these are not raffle tickets. They are just tailgate tickets. So when you purchase them, you have a ticket to make it there for it. So let's go. Cisco Lopez, baby, here on the program with a $20 super chat. Oh my goodness. Every time we get a super chat, we hear from my daughters, Ryan Luna.
Wow.
That's what I'm talking about, baby. By the way, Cisco Lopez, beep boop pop. You now have 26 raffle tickets to our contest. You're $1 away from another one. Thank you very much. We'll add that to your total for this month. You are in second place in our contest behind the one and only number one Austrian Jets fan. Thank you, Cisco. His $20 super chat is, hey, Paul, are you making any appearances in the next few days? Or if there is something in an event you're attending that we should tune in? Cisco, I'm picking up what you're putting down, pal. And yes, the timing of this may be up in the air, but the commitment to this is not as well. So let me reveal it here on the show. I will be joining the Nick Shine Show, baby, coming up on Sunday. Now, typically, of course, this is the week that Nick Shine asked me to be on the show, but typically I don't work Sundays at the radio station doing anything, football, baseball, nothing. Sundays are my off day. From that, I do all my other work, unfortunately, on Sundays. I never have days off. You just always got to work. But Sundays, I normally don't work at the radio station, but my radio station desperately said, Paul, please, we need you. And I'm like, all right, fine. So give me the day off today. That's cool. Normally I work on Saturdays. So I'm going to the radio station tomorrow to do a baseball game. Now, the baseball game's in the early afternoon. I should be fine for the Nick Shine Show, which is normally late at night. However, I've been at a baseball game before that went to 3 in the morning. So I told Nick, like, hey, man, I'm on. I will be on no matter what time it is. But just a heads up, I can't control how long this baseball game goes, and I got to drive back home. So, yes, I will be on the Nick Shine Show, what's that, Saturday? So tomorrow at some point. It's penciled in for 7. God, I hope above I'm home by 7, but I don't know. So TBD on the exact time, but my commitment to the show is not in question. So I will 100% be on there. Can't wait for that. So yes, Cisco, I will be on the Nick Shine Show. And in terms of events and things of that nature, yes, I will be going to Jets Bucks joint practice. I'm bringing Court Sports again, so that'll be tremendous. So it'll be me and her on Tuesday. Trying to think, anything else? Nick Shine Show. I think that's it. And of course, Boy Green Daily every day, of course, obviously. So yeah, so Jets Bucks joint practice coming up on Tuesday. Nick Shine Show tomorrow. Boy Green Daily today. We'll have, like I said, some special bonus shows doing the fantasy football draft order reveal. I believe I'll be doing that with Cisco today for at least one of the videos, maybe both. So, guys, stay tuned for that. That'll be a members-only video. So if you're a Coffee Club member or a Special Club member, you guys will see that coming through. So thank you, Cisco. Appreciate the $20 super chat here on the program, baby. Let's frickin' go. You're the best, pal. You're the friggin' best. Let's celebrate.
Jets, 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 Jets. Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. And I will make sure, Earl Christie, I get that message to the Jets. There's a few Jets employees I also know, so if I run into Geno Smith or Demario Davis, I would deliver that message. If I don't run into either player, I'm not giving up to get your message to AG so Earl Christie can speak to the team. I've got a way to get to the Jets, so I will do that. I promise, Earl. That is it. let's see. DJ says, "Is it too late to get in the league with Jared? I was in the Double Espresso last year and finished third. Unfortunately, all the leagues are accounted for. If to be in that, I here's the thing I wanted to do, just to spill the guts here on the table. Then we'll get back into the Jets training camp players. I wanted to make them. We made two leagues, one coffee club, one double espresso shot, which is the espresso club league. But I wanted to make it the espresso club members were in one league and the coffee club members were in the other. So I try to make it more organized. So that's it. So DJ, if somehow you got into the Espresso Club League and someone dropped it, you became an Espresso Club member. I assume you're not, or else I would have factored you into the list. So I assume you're not. If you do get into that, which is upgrading your YouTube membership level, and someone drops out or something, I'd be willing to switch it or something so we can see. So TBD, but that would be the way to do it, my friend. That would be the way to do it. Ah, yes. Yo Home says, BG, who is the fruity Mets pitcher from Syracuse that does a little dance when he strikes dudes out? So that would be, and let me make sure I get it. I know his last name. Jeffrey Yan. That is his name. Yeah, he's a big talk of the town here locally before he went up to the big Mets. Jeffrey Yan is his name, and he has a lot of personality. So for the Met fans out there that may be being introduced to him for the first time, I don't know his history of how often he's been up or not. I just know him from here. I'm not a Mets fan of New York Mets. I only swim in my pool here of Syracuse Mets, and I just tangentially know Met stuff because of all you crazy Met fans that call into the show or Manchild or something. That's the purity of my Mets knowledge. I don't pay attention to that level of detail in baseball. But yes, I do know all our Syracuse guys. That is Jeffrey Yan. Yeah, he's a lot of fun. He's a lot of fun. It rubs some people the wrong way apparently, but he's a lot of fun. Before we go to the phone lines, let me read a few more of these training camp standouts. Shout out to Zach Rosenblatt of The Athletic. We got into most of them with Pop, but I wanted to get into a few more here. Minka Fitzpatrick. I just think that this is going to be one of the sneaky additions. It was one of the first additions the Jets made this offseason, so it naturally went under the radar. He was traded for a seventh-round pick, got a contract extension, but it was right before free agency. Then we signed a bunch of guys, and there was this historic draft with 3 first-round picks. So Minka's gone under the radar, and he's not a loud talker either. So that also is another factor in people just not talking about him because he doesn't talk about himself. But he's still only 29. People are talking about him like he's 42. I think he's going to be just dandy, man. And I think he's going to bring veteran leadership. I still think he has plenty of gas left in the tank. Now, again, he has 2 picks over the last 3 years. Is that because of how he was used? Is that because he had some sort of a drop off or something? Then we're all going to find out together what's the truth with Minka Fitzpatrick. But I'm pretty excited. I think he's going to be a good straw that stirs the drink. Dave Briggett says, can't have Andre Cisco as a starter. By the way, Andre Cisco, my boy from Syracuse, who unfortunately did not play well last year. That's just a damn shame. But right now, he's the projected starter. And Dave, the message is simple. If you don't want Cisco to be a starter, this is a direct battleship. Hey, F4, this is a direct message to you, Malachi Moore. What if you're going to be a starter? Why not now? Seize the day. Beat out Andre Cisco. VJ Payne, the 7th-round pick, beat out Andre Cisco. Dane Belton, beat out Andre Cisco. If you want the job, come and take it. Come and take it. So that's a message to those young cats. You want the job? Take it. Take it from Andre Cisco. I love Andre Cisco. He's my Syracuse guy. But come on now. Come on, man. Let's go. Let's go. Come on. So, yeah, if you don't want Andre Cisco, that's simple. Nate Jett says, he's giving me some history on Jeffrey Yon, which, again, I only know of him locally here in Syracuse, covering the games and getting to do stuff like that, but I don't know his story. He says, Yon signed his first pro contract in 2013 at 16 years of age. He spent more than 4 years completely out of affiliated baseball. Marlins rediscovered him pitching in a men's beer league in Arizona in 21. What a cool story, Nate. I didn't know that. That's awesome. That's cool. Yeah, he seems like excitable and whatever the word is. Like he's got a lot of personality. I love that. Now you don't see a lot of that in baseball, so that's cool. That's refreshing. So yeah, shout out to him. So yeah, we talked about Armand Membu, maybe the best player in camp. Check. Minka Fitzpatrick, just talked about him. We talked about David Bailey already. Geno Smith we talked about. Again, I think he's just going to raise the floor of the quarterback room for us. That's exciting. Another player that Zach Rosenblatt shouted out, Azarie Thomas, baby. And I'm going to be honest, when I had a gun to my head, I think James asked it a couple days ago or a week ago or 2 weeks ago. Who do I think are the projected starters at corner? I believe I said Nashawn Wright, Brandon Stevens, and D'Angelo Pons. Now, Pons is still hurt with the calf, but Antoine Staley believes he's going to be back sooner rather than later, so maybe he could get back into that race against Jarvis Brownlee Jr. for the slot. But Azaria Thomas has been balling, man. I mean, when I went to practice on Saturday, would have been a week ago. Azaria Thomas was one of the starting quarters, not Nation Wright. It was Azaria Thomas, Brandon Stevenson. Minka was playing in the slot. Jarvis must have been hurt or something. He seems fine now, but he in the moment he was playing in the slot. But Azaria was a starter, man. So yeah, we'll see. Nashon Wright has the interception turnovers everywhere, which naturally makes him a perfect fit for the Jets because that's where the Jets struggled last year. But Azaria Thomas, man, apparently the arrow is pointing up. And I love stories like this. We did a full show on this a few days ago. But Daryl Jackson Jr., I love how he has seized his own destiny and changed his football destiny. When he was drafted, Rich Samini said this guy is likely going to be a redshirt. And I've explained this in the past, but, right now the Jets have 91 players on their roster. By September, they're going to have to cut that group of 91 down to 53. There'll be 16 practice squad players, potentially 17 if Pascal Ikiji does not make the roster of the 53 original. He could be a bonus 17th member of the practice squad. More on that later. The point is that you have this 53 as you're sort of slicing down the roster here. And as you're making some of those business decisions on a week to week basis, even though you have 53 players, only 48 can be active game day players. That means on a week to week basis, 5 players are inactive. They cannot play, they cannot dress. There is a weird rule for an emergency third quarterback, but that's irrelevant to the conversation we're having. And he suggested, Rich Samini, that Daryl Jackson Jr., our rookie defensive tackle at Florida State, who was a 103rd overall pick in the 4th round, he was going to be the redshirt guy. He was going to be, more often than that, one of those 5 players that don't dress on game days. However, apparently Daryl Jackson Jr. has been turning heads in camp. Now, part of that is Tavondre Sweat's hurt, so there's opportunities at defensive tackle. But Rich Samini says it's not just random opportunities. He has just been killing it with the opportunities he's had, which has led him to get more opportunities. More opportunities. And he's a big dude, too, 6'5". I think he's listed like 320 pounds, so he's not Tavondre Sweat, who's listed at 366. But Daryl Jackson Jr., man, that to me is pretty exciting. So he's a player that's gotten some love from Rosenblatt, Samini, and a few others, and I love it. That is awesome. So huge shout out to him as well. And we talked about the rest of the players on the list. So shout out to Zach Rosenblatt of The Athletic for putting that together. Max says, what are your thoughts on Will McDonald playing outside linebacker? It makes sense. And I don't want to, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't want to analyze this because the Jets are going to have 3-4 principles and 4-3 principles. In a 3-4 scheme, we're going to have a true nose tackle in the middle. Let's call that Tavondre Sweat for lack of a better word. And then you have heavier set defensive ends. Harrison Phillips could be that bigger base defensive end. Think about whoever you want. In a 3-4, Will McDonald will not be a defensive end because the Jets don't want him in that scenario. In that scenario, he'll be the stand-up pass rusher, outside linebacker in a 3-4, where you have the 3 hog mollies in the middle in the core of the defense, nose tackle, and a couple of heavier set defensive ends that can hold the edge. And then you have the stand-up outside rushers. In a 4-3, I think you'll have Will McDonald with his hand in the dirt on the outside, where he can show his first step quickness. So I won't overarch to say, oh, Will McDonald playing outside linebacker. Like, that's not what he's only going to play. He will have both responsibilities. There will be 4-3 and responsibilities. There will be 3-4 outside linebacker responsibilities. But I do think sort of no matter what way you slice it, whether he has his hand in the dirt or he's just sort of standing up as a pass rusher, I think either way can work with Will. The thing I didn't like what I saw at training camp is a few times I had Will in coverage, and maybe he's clearly athletic, but like his superpower, since that's the comment of the offseason, like his superpower is rushing the passer. Every time I want him rushing the passer. Now, like Micah Parsons and stuff, they don't do that with him. He does coverage and all kinds of things. He doesn't exclusively rush the passer. But I'd love for the Jets to exclusively rush the passer there with Will McDonald. Jamal Joseph says, can the Jets just cut the 400-pound mistake? I'm sure you're referencing Tavondre Sweat. Yeah, cutting him would make no sense. That's silly. Another team would immediately pick him up. No, let's just hope that he gets back soon from the hamstring. Yeah. Let's hope he gets back from the hamstring soon. But no, the Jets are not going to cut Tavondre Sweat. And who knows if it's a mistake yet? It's still, we haven't seen Jermaine Johnson in a Titans uniform yet. We'll see that week one. There'll be plenty of that happening. All right, let's do this. We talked about all these training camp people. Let's open up the phone lines here on the program. Again, folks, the shows on the weekend can be a little bit longer. Normally, during the week, these shows have to be shorter because of the Bills job that's going to be starting here in the near future. But let's open up the phone lines. If you guys would like to call in, now is the time to do so here on a beautiful Saturday, August 8th. We're 6 days away from the Jets' first preseason game, which we will have full coverage for with a pregame show, live play-by-play, and a postgame show coming up next Friday. Let's take a half time out. Your phone calls welcome next here on Boy Green Daily.
1, 2, 3.
Welcome back to Boy Green Daily, a daily New York Jets video show, also available wherever you get your podcast. I'm your host, Paul Esden Jr., a.k.a. Boy Green. Thanks for stopping by. If it's your first time or you're a multi-time offender, we welcome you all the same here on the show. Appreciate that out there in the audience. People are asking about Devondre Sweat's weight. He is listed at 366 pounds. Antoine Staley was on ESPN New York with Jake Asman, and he says, this is Antoine Staley saying, I reckon he is much more than 366. My guess is he's closer to 400. So I don't. Antoine saw him in person. I did not. Where Devondre Sweat, when I was there at practice, of course he wasn't practicing because he's on the NFL list. He was off on a side field. I couldn't get enough of a vision of him to say what I thought his weight was. So I can't speak to that. But hopefully he gets back soon. All right, let's go to the phone lines here on the program. Let's keep it rolling. It's Hep time, baby.
Hey, Paul. Hey, fellas. You know what? I saw some photos of Brody on Facebook with your dad and mom.
Yeah.
He looks pretty good. He looks, he's really bouncing back. I mean,
Yeah.
they said he posted he still has work to do, but he's looking pretty smiling and stuff like, so that made me
Yeah.
feel good.
He lost a lot of weight. He's lost over 100 pounds for being, comatose and all the things that he was dealing with. So he lost a lot of weight, and now I think the key thing for him, because he's always been a bigger guy, he's like 6'3" or something. Like he's 6'4". He's I don't know what happened with the apple tree, but he got all that. But so he's lost a lot of weight, but he was unhealthily from a weight perspective before. So maybe this is the gods allowing him an opportunity to get to reset here. And hey, you're at the think about this. Think about this. He weighs less than me right now, Brody.
No way.
That's a crazy thing to say. He weighs less than me.
Cow.
That's how much weight he lost. He used to be 300 plus pounds, and now he's under 200. Now he needs to get, because of his height and everything, and get his weight back to a
little bit more.
portion, of course, and get meat on his bones. But to me, I always think everything happens, whether we like it or not. I think everything happens in life for a reason. And sometimes we don't understand. Difficult things are handed to us. We're like, man, this sucks. It's this. But I think sometimes, again, if you just have the right mentality and you approach everything with, you know what, how do I make the best of this situation? I hope this is an opportunity for Brody to reset his life from a healthy standpoint and, put it back in a proper way. So, no, it's cool. They're in South Carolina somewhere with my cousins and everything else. And they FaceTimed or some video call yesterday. I got to see him. And it's just good. It's good to see him. It's good to see him.
Yeah. I was thinking, I have an idea as far as the play-by-plays, and
Please.
I think we touched on it last year a little bit about having guest color analysis coming on.
Yeah.
And I thought one would be Jake would be good because he doesn't want to do his own because he just gets too caught up on it. But if he was a guest, he could just freak out and you could just hold the fort down. That might be something. And then you open it up to both
Audiences.
channels,
Yes,
right?
that's true. Right.
And I
Right.
think Nick Shine would be another good guy to have on
Mm,
because he's
okay.
really he goes to a lot of games.
Let me write this
And
down.
of course, then you can bring Woody back because we haven't seen him in 100 years.
That's true. All right, Jake's on the list. All right, Woody's on the list. Shine's on the list. All right, if you guys have suggestions, if I start doing auditions for a co-host for play-by-play coverage again, where
Yeah,
in a perfect world, you're supposed to have a play-by-play guy who's the nuts and bolts guy. 3rd and 5. Here's the quarter. Here's the formation, and then the color analyst supposed to be going the Zoe. Look at the turn and the zibba the blah the. That person's supposed to be doing all that. So if you guys
Green
have
Bean might
suggestions
be a
for
good
co-hosts,
guy
oh,
too.
Green Bean, okay. Well, he does his own thing, so I
Yeah, but
don't know
that's the
if
thing. You could pop
we'll
on his
combine.
thing, and then you combine it,
Oh,
and then you have
okay.
a thing, right? Then you go
Okay,
like
Green
that
Bean. All right, I'll put him on the list. I like
because
that. Okay.
he doesn't do the play by play, and that
That's
might be
funny. Yeah, and I will say that's a cool thing to me because when I first did this, I said, you know what? Let me read up. Let me study how other people do it. And I'm like, and I watch a few others, and I'm like, what is this? Is completely opposite of what I thought people were asking of me when they said to do this. Because in my head, it was the play-by-play I do. Like that's clearly the
yeah.
way to do it. And I've seen others are like watch parties. They're all sort of
It's
like
watch parties. Yeah, yeah,
they're
yeah.
hanging out, taking calls, just hanging out in the middle of the game. And I was like, interesting. So yeah, maybe there's a balance there. So okay,
And you
Green Bean's
got
on the
Matt
list.
O'Leary and
Oh,
those
sure.
guys too.
Yeah. Okay. Let me see. Okay.
Um. Oh, I forgot to tell you that Richie's party. Richie's having a tailgate as well. He's doing Cleveland.
I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
saw that. So maybe you guys could do like a little, meetup or whatever.
That's what I told him because I ran into him at I've ran into him several times this year. The draft, the beach club,
Yeah.
the this. We've ran into each other a few times, and yeah, I ran into him at after the Jets practice. He went to the Cloverleaf Tavern after the practice. So yeah, that'd be cool if we, sort of tip of the cap, our
Sure.
goblet sort of, in a
Yeah.
cheers fashion of like, hey man, let's go. So he does his media thing every year. So
Yeah.
yeah, that'd be cool.
He's hilarious with his reaction. He goes
Oh
off
my
the
God.
he goes
Yeah,
off the rails,
he's
man.
a nutcase. Yeah.
Thanks, Paul. Please get the
Appreciate it,
rebound.
Deb. Thank you, pal. Yeah, so okay, I am open. So if you guys have suggestions, so I do the play-by-play coverage for the Jets games. Now, some of the regular season games I'm going to this year, so those will be out. But the entire preseason and what is it, 14 of the 17 games? So I'm going to be there for most of the season. But getting a partner in crime. Okay, interesting. Let's see. Interesting. All right. Yeah, that's on my list. If you guys have other suggestions, please let me know out in the audience. I will take it. All right, let's go up next. Hey, look, it's Neil Sr. Whoa.
What's up, Paul? How you doing?
Hey, I'm doing swell, pal. It's good to see you.
You too. I got the perfect suggestion. First of all,
Okay.
Richie does the play-by-play like you do.
Oh, yeah.
He
He
does
gets
it, and
that.
he's very emotional. He even,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's an interception. He's going.
And
You
the
got
mic
that
is going like, "Ah!"
right,
Yeah, yeah,
right.
it's intense.
Paul,
Yeah.
that's a great. You and Richie, and the
Uh-huh.
only other guy I know that does the play-by-play stuff is Green Bean. Does it too?
Oh, yes, Green Bean as well. Yes,
And Green
absolutely.
Bean's very good at it. But
Yeah.
absolutely adding the two of you guys together and combining the show for those
Mhm.
play-by-plays would put a lot larger audience in.
That's true.
And this way you guys could switch it up, you know what I mean?
Yes, I
Like you
like
could
that.
comment and he could talk about the play and you guys could make you could be like the two Monday Night Football guys. You could be like Cosell and who was the other guy that started Monday Night Football? Who was the Texan? It was Cosell and
Yeah,
damn.
let me see. Who is that original guy?
Oh God, he had a Texas accent. It was the original Monday Night Football guys.
It was. Are you talking about Don Meredith?
Yes,
Or
Dandy
Fisher?
Don Meredith
Yes.
and
Yeah. There you go.
Howard Cosell.
Nice.
That was a great combination back in the
True.
day.
Yeah.
But that's good. Yeah, I like that suggestion Hep made. I think that's a great idea. Yeah, because everybody's looking for something, for when they want to watch the games and get that
Hmm.
perspective.
Yep.
But 1 week somebody will watch Richie, then they'll watch you, then they'll watch Green Bean. And you're better off just doing a combined show. That's a great
Yeah, I like
idea.
it.
And then you'll
Okay.
combine your listeners as well.
Hmm.
Anyhow, as far as the jet point goes, very, very happy with what I see. Oh, I watched that Hall of Fame game.
Yeah. Oh, that was cool.
There was, you know, who's the Cardinals quarterback? I wanted him in the draft.
Carson Beck.
Yeah, I liked
Oh,
him.
he
I
looked
talked.
awesome.
You know what? I liked him in the draft in the third round because aside from that one bad throw he made in the championship game, I thought he outdueled Mendoza. I thought he
Yeah.
was with him throw for throw, and he's mature. He played a lot of games. He really controlled that offense, and the other quarterback did just as well. So I'm gonna, Klubnik's got a high bar to cross here. He has to
Mhm.
come out looking good. He can't come out of here throwing a pick and walking on the sideline. He's got to move the ball and score some touchdowns in order for him to be the number two.
I'm ready to go nuts. I'm ready for him to kill it in the preseason, and we're like, he's the guy. He's our
Yes.
franchise quarterback.
I,
Yes.
I think it'll happen. I think it'll happen with him because we've had
Cool.
such poor quarterback. I mean, not actually in the preseason, we had a
We've had
lot of
some
good.
guys. That's
We've had
true.
some, travelers
Like
perform
Straveler.
well.
Yes.
Um, uh, the Gonzalez, what was his name? The
Oh
guy that ran.
yeah. Adrian Martinez.
Martinez ran a lot. He
Oh
moved the
yeah.
ball down the field.
Hmm.
These guys all had very, very big games in the preseason. So I think we're going to see something really, really big out of Klubnik. That'll be real exciting.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
So that's all I have. I'm cutting it short. I want to
All
keep it
right.
short when I call. Take care,
Appreciate it.
guys.
There he is. Let's give a huge shout out to Neil and Easy. Can you do it? Set him out.
Your time is up. Gotta let your ass go. Thanks for calling in the Boy Green Show.
There you go. Neil. Short and sweet. Love it. Good stuff there from Neil. Yeah, man, to combine our superpowers with me and another content creator. We'll see if they're open to it. That'd be cool. I got to go through this list, power rank them, see who is the best fit for this. That'd be cool, though. The only thing we'll have to do is align our times, because right, if you're streaming the game or watching on cable or whatever you're doing, I could be more ahead, they could be more ahead. So aligning that part may just be the other piece of the puzzle. But yeah, I'm for it. That'd be cool. Give you guys a better experience. That's what I'm all about. Let's go back to the phone lines here. We've got another rocker. It's Ricky New York Live.
Hey, how you doing, Paul?
I'm doing swell, buddy. Good to see you.
I would be more than happy to volunteer my services.
Oh, okay. Let me add you to the list.
I know you said you needed somebody for the nuts and bolts part of it, and I don't know about bolts, but if we're watching a game live, I got the nuts part of it covered. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, so you'd be auditioning for the play-by-play role?
Yeah, sure.
Oh, wow. Okay. All right. Now I'll put you on the list. Are you comfortable with color if that's where it went?
Oh yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
either way. Okay, you're on the list.
I'm good. I'm good with whatever.
Okay.
Additionally,
Yes.
speaking of collaborative efforts,
Sure.
recently I posted a video, and it was my very first one, the very first episode, which was the explanation of 11, 12, and 13 personnel. But I started doing a different series of videos called Football IQ. And it's not
Yeah.
just for Jets fans, it's for any NFL fans, just anybody wanting to increase their knowledge of the game, etc.
How is that going?
The first episodes actually went really well so far, and so
Great.
I'm preparing to do more and go over like differences of 3-4-4-3, zone versus man, cover two, etc. Route concepts, and a plethora of other knowledge. But
Plethora, good vernacular.
thank you.
Yeah.
At any rate, I'd love to have you join me on a couple of those if you're down to do so.
Yeah, I mean, I said it before with the Sal Capaccio at WGR 550. Those Buffalo people, they do football knowledge, and I think it's better for all of us as fans to get even better knowledge. So, hey, real quick, Ricky, it doesn't really bother me that much, but I think I could hear how it could bother someone else. I don't know if you have like me on another screen or something. I'm hearing an echo of myself. I don't know where that's coming from on your side.
Let me see.
Okay.
I think that's a StreamYard issue. And
I
okay,
don't
here
know.
we go.
Yeah. I don't know if there's a button you can press. Like I said, I could just hear myself a second time, which I love doing because I love the sound of my own voice. So hearing it twice is terrific. But
Okay, is that any better?
let me see. Me. No, no, no better. No.
Okay.
Let me ask the audience: is that bad enough, people, that you wouldn't want? Is that
Okay, wait a
bothering
minute.
people? Yeah. While Ricky's doing that. Okay.
How is that? Is that any
Hello.
better?
Hello. Nope, I can still hear it. Yep.
Okay, weird. I switched mics. I'm not sure what's
Okay.
causing that.
All right. Anywho,
It,
as long as that's not bothering the audience, I don't care. But if it is, oh, it is too much echo. Oh, okay. All right. Well, Ricky, you may have to try to call back in on your phone, maybe, or something. Yeah, people are complaining about the echo, and then we could try to see if we can get back on because I want to continue our conversation if we can.
okay, let me see if I can correct that, and I'll
Okay.
try to call back in. If not, I'll just shoot you a DM with my proposal.
Please do. I would love to hear it. There he is, Ricky New York Live, unfortunately. Whatever that echo is. I did feel like one of those Sprint commercials. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? All right, I love it. By the way, folks, feel free to do that. So, two things here. If you have suggestions for a color commentator, because probably with me being the host of the show, I'll probably have to do the nuts and bolts. Now, you will occasionally get me losing my mind naturally, but if you do, um, if you do have a suggestion, if someone wants to call in and volunteer, I volunteer as tribute. I want to be on the list. I'd probably hear how I would probably do it. And I see Mac here. Let me throw this up here. Mac says, "Can I audition in Tennessee?" You sure can, Mac. Because what I would want to do, because I want to actually do legitimate auditions. I think the thing I'd want to do is put up a mock game. If we're now in a perfect world, me and the co-host could be together in person. That would make it the best, but that's not going to be a realistic thing on a week-to-week basis, I imagine, of people traveling to Oswego, New York, wherever you are on the planet. So we're probably going to have to do it digitally. And again, the one hiccup is our both of our Wi-Fi's have to be elite, and then also like hopefully we're watching whatever the game is at the same time because if it's slightly altered that could mess up the play-by-play anything. But yeah, the audition I'd want to do is me and the person are watching a game together. I'm laying the nuts and bolts. All right, everybody, it's 2nd and 7 here for the New York Jets. We got three wide receiver set. Geno Smith under center for the New York Jets. Brees Hall, the lone back behind him. 11-12 remaining here in the second quarter. I'm giving that nuts and bolts. And then here we go. And then the play happens. Geno Smith drops back, throws it. Oh, Mason Taylor. Nice catch for 4 yards. I stop. That color person jumps in. Wow, what a great route there by Mason Taylor, man. Look, he threw off the safety. Nice little zone coverage action. Found the hole in the and pow, right there, Paul. Yeah, that was pretty great, Mac. All right, anywho, now we're at 2nd and 3 here from the 32-yard line. Oh, boy. Weather conditions are a factor here. It is blowing wind all over the place. So, again, that sort of breakdown. But yes, if you so yes, Mac, we'll be there together in person. Yes, you can audition in person. Yes, Ricky New York Live, you're on the list. If you guys have suggestions of who would be good people to be a potential color commentator with me for the games, and then you get double the people. I agree with Dave Briga. He mentioned this earlier. It may be difficult to schedule with other content creators. They have their own content going on. Now, again, if we could combine our services, maybe that's great. And maybe that's something they'd be open to. Maybe not. I don't know. So I will gather this list. I will continue to take your guys' suggestions out in the audience, and we will go through. Yeah. Frankie says that means I'd have to watch an entire Jets game without swearing. Not possible. Actually, swearing is allowed. I try to just my own personal taste. I try not to swear often, but again, it's a radio thing. One of the things about the old Boy Green story that people, and apparently I've mellowed over the years, but one of the things that I learned in radio, I got into radio 11 years ago. That's also when I got the Boy Green nickname. Is there's certain words you're not allowed to say on the radio, certain swear words. There's like 7 dirty words of radio, but there's more than that now of words you can't say on the radio, like you'd get fired. So you can't say these words. And my radio partner, a lesson I learned, Jim the Manchild Lurch, who I do a bunch of shows with during the week, he said that you can do 2 things with that information being on the radio. You can either avoid saying them and just never say them and just be a normal human being, and that's one way, or make fun of the fact that you can't say them. And I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, well, instead of saying, what the F, right? Instead of saying that, say, what in the flying pancake? Like, so use crazy words in place. So that's where, and I sort of program my mind in that way, and I would say it by default. What in the flying hoot? Or my gosh darn bananas, my zoinks, like these things. To avoid saying the swear word, say another word. Like I'm trying to think of some of the ones I used to have in my arsenal. I would say it all the time on the radio. And then when I came to video, because I was a radio guy first, people were like, what is wrong with this nutcase? He has this weird vernacular. He's saying these weird words. Now, my vernacular is strange in general, but let alone that amplified it like tenfold of like saying words that were bizarre. And then when I did the Jets documentary a few years ago in their building, that would have been 23, I believe, 3 years ago, 4 years ago, whatever it is now. That was in the, I was going to say spring, but I guess it was more winter, spring of 2023. They brought me in the facility, and I was still on that mindset of, that kind of vernacular. Now, I've sort of mellowed out or calmed down, but, I could still get crazy. But yes, that all comes from the radio lesson I learned, and then I brought that over here. And I don't scream as much anymore, but every once in a while, my engine can get revved. Exactly, right? He just says, "Oh, funk me," son of a biscuit. I say, kids, right? So it's coming back up, actually, right? So I would swear whatever I swore when I was younger. I got into radio. I'm like, geez, I can't swear. So unique. Funk me. What the fudge? Flipping pancakes. But and so I said it for radio, and then in the digital world, you could swear. So then it loosened up a little bit. And then I have children, right? I can't say Jesus blanket blank. Like I can't say any of those things. So it's back. So it's a little bit back and forth. Yes. So yes, that's it. Yo Home says my Wi-Fi is not elite. Well, I'm hoping my Wi-Fi gets a lot better because in my new house that I hope all the pieces keep going in the right direction that I keep talking about. If so, I'm moving in like 3 weeks, so hopefully that's right. But if that does happen, where my office is in this new house, it seems to be the perfect Wi-Fi situation. Like my router and everything is going to be on top of my computer, so maybe I'll even have a direct line. So my Wi-Fi should be elite in this new home. Blessed hope to be he. So that's the part that's going to help. So most of the time, I feel like I have pretty good Wi-Fi here, but there are times where it is frustratingly bad, and I pay a bonkers amount for Wi-Fi because, like I do these shows, I have to have it the best possible Wi-Fi it can be. So, yeah, the new house, it should be never a problem ever again. So we can only hope so. Yes, that is true. NC Green says George Carlin made a career of those 7 words. So hey, different strokes, different folks. Jared B nominating Yo Holmes. Yo Holmes says his Wi-Fi is in question. Yeah, so we'll see. But seriously, if you guys have suggestions of who should be that guy, or someone wants to volunteer, yes, I'm. Yes. Dave Briga says, Paul, substituting those words for profanity is referred to as minced oath in preaching circles. Oh, that's neat. Oh, I never knew there was a term for it. Thank you, Dave Briga, for sharing that. That's awesome. Yeah, that's great. That's cool. Shout out, by the way, Snowball is still out there in Italy. I don't know if I can do this. I don't know if this is, I don't know if that's cultural. I don't know if I'm breaking any rules there, but it's great to see you, Snowball. I don't know what the hell time it is over there, but hopefully you're having a great day. Yes. Yes. Hopefully so, my friend. Yeah, that's awesome. Make sure you guys like the video, hit subscribe here. If you guys haven't seen it, a couple more plugs right quick. And also, again, if you have any other suggestions, make sure you guys let us know. Again, the thing, well, first off, Hop on Pop Wounded Warrior raised over $2,500 so far. In totality, there are a bunch of people that are raising money separately, that isn't part of the raffle money that you could win. It's just strictly money. They're not trying to win the raffle. They just want to help raise money. So we're at over $2,500. That's amazing. So shout out to Hop on Pop and all the work that he's done. So again, Venmo, PayPal, at HopOnPop22, HOPONPOP22. If for some reason you can't access that, and I know know someone reach out to me. We'll work on the Apple Pay after the show is over. My fiance knows how to do all that, so I'll work with you, Phil, and hammering all that out so you can contribute. That's beautiful. So we have that cooking. We have our tailgate. Folks, again, if you want to come to our tailgate, we have 27 tickets left to the tailgate. That is the catered food from Chef Kevin Gilbert. That's the DJ with the B Sprinter. That's a non-alcoholic drinks. We're going to have games, cornhole, beer pong, all kinds of things like that. You'll get to break bread with your fellow Jet fans. We'll have food, we'll have drink, we'll have DJ, we'll have games. It's going to be awesome. Again, 27 tickets left. They're $50 a pop. That gets you the food, that gets you the drink, that gets you the experience, and it's a great time. So I hope to sell that out. That would be amazing. And we already have more than last year committed right now, which is amazing. And I hope we shatter those numbers. I hope we sell out. That'd be awesome. So hopefully you guys are able, if you haven't already, come over to the tailgate, baby. And we also have our tailgate restaurant takeover sign up sheet. That's in the YouTube description down below. Well, it was so fun to do this show, everybody. Thank you guys so much. Thanks for all the gifting. Cisco Lopez with the super chat, Jared B with the gifted membership, Osher with the gifted membership. Our next videos that'll be coming up here on the channel will be our fantasy football draft order reveal for the Coffee Club League and the Espresso Club League. Those will be members-only videos coming out a little bit later today. Hopefully you guys can check those out. All right, everybody. Paul's got to go. The kids are up. I will see you guys soon. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time. Take care.